Hello there and welcome. My name is Anna Delman. It is day 268. I've just recorded all of this, done it, and I got to the end of a good few minutes into all of this and I was about to close it off and I realized I hadn't even referred to my note for the day. And this is supposed to be an adventure, a journey of daily note writing. So I'm doing it again and I'm going to read it. So it is day 268. When we plan our way and circumstances redirect our course, it's a good time to learn from the experience. Another look at what God is reminding me of in this 365-day journey. Now, I have some verses written down here. I've got Philippians 1:22 through 25, and I don't have it on the whiteboard, but it is down in the talking points, Acts 18:10, and I referred to them yesterday. Now, although I'm working on spiritual formation and I'm sticking to all of this to examine my own life so that I can deal with things from the past and those things that have troubled me, that brought out not the nicest part of me, but it exposed what I thought I had dealt with, but it goes to show how deep down some of our ickiness really rests, and we need to expose it. So as I was working through this yesterday, and I did mention it, but I wanted to elaborate on it, because when we are working through a plan and God is teaching us something apart from the plan but yet part of the plan, it doesn't mean you go off track and you follow the rabbit trail, because it is a distraction. You need to stay with what you're committing to do and work through it. And so I wanted to show you how I'm doing that when God prompts me through this study and then a separate Bible reading, and he ties two things together in my understanding to encourage me. Furthermore, it is also greatly beneficial because I'm working on a project about church struggles, church hurts, church difficult relationships, and when that is your experience, what are you to do? The Bible does say there is nothing new under the sun. Trials are common to man. Your brothers around the world experience the same thing. So here is a good example. So Philippians 1:22 through 25. And if I am to live in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me, yet which I shall choose I cannot tell. I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. But to remain in the flesh is more necessary on your account. Convinced of this, I know that I will remain and continue with you all for your progress and joy in the faith. Now, that is when when Paul is saying he'd rather be with the Lord. That means no longer in this world, no longer here. He'd rather be home with Jesus. And that is true. I think all believers, that is the ultimate goal, and what carries us through trials is that we know what the outcome of our life is going to be. But here he says that it doesn't matter the difficulties, and the way he doesn't need to deal with them anymore is to be with the Lord, but he prefers to be here to encourage others. Now, I'm not saying that the Lord must take me home, but what he is saying and showing me through reading his word and considering my struggles and what the struggles have shown me about myself. Do I want to escape here and move away from here? Sure, I would. But is there work to be done through still honoring the Lord with my life in a difficult situation? Yes, there is. And so we have to always be weighing the truth. And then the next one I wanted to read to you was Acts 18 verse 10. I referred to that yesterday. And I'm going to back up to verse 9. And the Lord said to Paul one night in a vision, do not be afraid, but go on speaking and do not be silent. Verse 10. For I am with you, and no one will attack you to harm you, for I have many in the city who are my people. When you're in a difficult situation, in a community that you are not familiar with, and you really do not know people in an environment, and you are there as a witness, that is your objective, but also one that we all have. You go into a new office experience, you go into a new social environment, whatever that is. Now, you do not need to be wearing it on your forehead, I am a Christian and I don't like anything that's immoral or unethical. Your principles in how you live your life should make that statement for you. He has you where you are, and even though it appears to you that there is nothing around you that is of like-mindedness that you can connect with, they are there. It means you need to go further beyond your comfort zone and find it out. Now, I have explained previously that one of the sweetest blessings to me in the years I've been here was not the bad health. The presence of the Lord that I experienced through that all was remarkable and a true blessing. I wouldn't change that for anything. Of course, I wouldn't want bad health again. But when I ended up in hospital and I was there for 5 weeks, I had been praying for a long time if the Lord, however He brought care to me, that more than getting the care, I wanted, even if it was only one believer, to come alongside me and be that for me. And what I didn't think would be possible at all, the first doctor that attended me, out of the blue, he started speaking about God, and I started crying. He must have thought I was a crazy, wacky woman, and I told him, I apologize. This is not because of you or because of me. This is because I have a Father in heaven, and He heard my cry, and you are the answer to prayer, and that's the reason for the tears. So I'm sharing that with you to be an encouragement and a comfort to you, that it doesn't matter what's around you. You have a Father that hears. And friends, when you are able to come to that kind of understanding in difficulties, it's because you've had the time in your life, the seasons where you've developed a spiritual formation to land on, to carry you through, that you can be crying out, Lord, I would rather have you than any medical attention. I would rather have you being my healer than modern day medical attention or modern day care, because you know my needs more than anybody else, and He brings it all together for your benefit and His glory. That is sweet and precious. Friends, therefore, is spiritual formation the foundation on which you are building your life and structuring your today, your tomorrow, and His sustaining grace to you important? You bet it is. Is it essential that you look at your life and the behavioral changes, those fun experiences? Now, I'm not saying don't go out and have fun. Please do. But if you're using it as an excuse to soothe your soul rather than going to God to soothe your soul, that's a problem. Positive thinking, even with the Word of God, you've got to think positively about it. But positive thinking apart from Him is not going to be the solving of the reason behind your hand motions, your hand communications, the image, looking perfect to the world, where inside you just a broken person. The only person who you're fooling in that is yourself. You are not fooling God. And to me, that's the saddest place to be, is when you are deceiving yourself, when you could have such a delightful spiritual formation that rests on God and you can find in His Word. Now, the reason I used those two examples in Philippians and Acts to show you is that God speaks to us through His Word. If you want the answers to your life, if you are wondering if spiritual formation is worth it, it is. I've just shown you two examples of how He speaks to me through His Word to encourage me where He has me and what that should look like. Be encouraged, and I will be back tomorrow to share some more of how God is leading me and can be leading you too. Until then, take care. God bless. Bye-bye for now.